This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by CustomFit360.
Take a look at this man. He's 280 pounds. He smokes. He dips. He drinks like a fish. He is also in a deep, dark depression.
Now, this was 8 years ago. And here he is today. You recognize Eric Schreiber, the owner of CustomFit360. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm just going to jump into the deep end here. That was a dark time. What was going on?
It was a tough time. You know, I can't really explain it, you know, other than that, you know, at that time, I had a lot of self-doubt, a lot of fear about the future. I had played football and wanted to get to a higher level. And I'd kind of always partied. And when I didn't get to where I wanted to go, I just, you know, I sort of lost all hope. And, you know, it started off as, you know, I drank a lot, and then I drank to, you know, subdue those feelings of failure and inadequacy, and it just spiraled.
So, is there a particular time that you remember that you hit rock bottom?
For sure. I could feel that my body was starting to not like me. I couldn't hold any food down. You know, if I ate, it ran through me. But I still drank. And I'm talking like this was, you know, a handle of vodka a day. The first thing I did when I woke up was drink, just to try to sustain my life, really. And I tried to quit. I was in the hospital for a few days to, you know, medically detox and get over it. And then I drank again 3 weeks later after getting out of the hospital, after nearly dying. I woke up, same time, like 5 o'clock in the morning. I popped a beer, snuck out onto I thought my wife was sleeping. And, you know, I sat out there drinking, and I started to watch the sunrise. And it was like the most gorgeous thing I'd ever seen in my life. And it just sort of struck me that, you know, if I continued to do what I was doing, that I would never be able to see this again, and that I was gonna die. And I walked into the bedroom, and she was sitting there reading a book. And I had this sort of illogical fear that if I went to rehab, that she was gonna leave me. And I said to her, I said, you know, babe, if I go to rehab, are you gonna leave me? She never looked up from her book, and she said, Eric, if you don't go to rehab, I'm gonna leave you.
Whoosh.
And I went the next day.
To say night and day between then and now is the understatement of the century. First off, thank you so much for sharing your story.
No, thanks for allowing me to share it.
Has it been tough keeping the course from then to now?
No, I mean, initially, sure. You know, when I first got out of rehab, it's easy to think about all those old habits that you had. But I was very involved in a program, and I went to meetings every day for years. And now, I don't ever have thoughts or you know, I get angsty, right? And life, you're never not gonna have problems.
Right.
It's just they're way more manageable now, and you know, I owe a lot to that. You know, to the program that I was in. You know, I owe it a lot to my wife.
Yeah.
You know, so many incredible, amazing things have happened since I've gotten sober.
Well, one of which is you got fit. So how did you turn that corner?
Well, so it's interesting. I was always in the fitness industry, always. Even during this whole debacle, I was a manager of gyms. I helped with membership sales and things like that. But all the while, you know, after work we would go to the bar and party it up. And I just remember how horrendous I felt physically, emotionally, you know, and I had been on the other side of it, and I wanted to help people not ever feel like that again. Whether you have, you know, a substance abuse problem that had nothing to do with it. Just, I know that, you know, from being a former high-level athlete to having a hard time walking upstairs, you know, without being out of breath and fatigued and tired. I want to help people gain their independence, feel good about the way they look, the way they feel. You know,
Life is much better now,
for sure.
Yep.
and you want to spread it.
Everywhere.
Man.
Eric Schreiber,
Everyone.
he is the owner of CustomFit360. If you'd like some more information on Eric and CustomFit360, we have it on our website. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
in
you.
and telling the
Thank
story.
you. I
And
appreciate it.
congratulations.
Good songs.